So once again, today we're going to be looking at Vital and how we can use it as a kind of processor rather than just as a synth. So stick around to the end of this video if you want to find out the secret sauce of how to get your drums to sound nice and fat and crunchy just using Vital. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to start by having a break. So this is a break that's been taken from the Patreon, and it sounds a bit like this. So you can hear that's quite a clean break. The idea is we want to kind of get this to sound a bit more raw. So what we're going to do is once again open up an instance of Vital. So let's get that open. We're going to be using this in the same way as we used it in the first video, which means we're going to be putting this to a basic shapes and a sine wave. And then we're going to load in our sample from here inside of the sampler and switch this on. There we go. And what we want to do is run these two together this time without using any kind of transient designer. So we're not going to attach an LFO or an envelope to the levels anymore. We're going to leave the levels playing full volume, and this is just going to be our wet signal. So we're going to run this into a distortion. Basically, it's important which order you do this. Think about this as though you have your chain along here, because you can do this also by setting up a wet dry chain in here, or just by grouping and creating a wet dry duplicate. Those are two other ways you can do this. This is a classic technique. You can also use a send as well. That's another way of doing it, but we're going to do this within Vital. So we're going to crank up the drive to start with. And we're going to go and draw this in here. Now let's put this on C0, I think, and there we go. And then let's play this. But let's mute this one. The next thing you do is just to remove the low end, really. So we come in here and we put a low cut on here, and we'll see how far we can take it without having any low end coming through. So there's a tiny little bit low end coming through there, but we've really high passed it, and I don't think it'll be noticeable in the background because this is going to layer up. So like I said, this is our wet layer, so we want this little crunchiness, and we want to layer that over the top of our beat, which is now with the crunchiness. Without it, with it. So you can hear it adds a little shine to the top end, basically, when we do this. So to recap for this video, we're just using a sine wave. We're using the beat in sampler mode. We're running these two signals in parallel together through the distortion. This is what's then giving it the crunch. We then need to remove the low end after it's been through the distortion, which is important that is after, otherwise you won't get that crunch. If you remove the low end before, you won't get the same reaction. And then we're using the top end crunchiness as a layer to put over the drum beat, which takes us from this to this. Okay, so I hope this one was useful for you guys. I hope you learned something. This is a really old school trick, but a really cool trick. It's just parallel processing, basically, and we're just taking it inside of Vital. That's all we're doing differently. So have a go and try this outside of Vital. If you'd like me to make a video on this processing technique and all the different ways that we can approach it, then leave a comment down below and let me know if you'd like me to do that, or any other future content that you'd like me to make, then feel free to leave a comment and leave some requests. And until the next one, guys, thanks for watching. You take care of yourselves, and peace.